On today's episode of Getting Real with Goldie, we're going to talk about triggers and glimmers, which is the opposite of that. So basically, triggers are sensory reminders that cause painful memories or certain symptoms to resurface. If you've experienced a traumatic event, you're likely to have somewhere stored in that brain of yours sights, smells, sounds, that relate to that experience. And so anytime you encounter something similar to that, you get activated by a trigger. And if you're somebody dealing with addiction, triggers can also be same things: sights, smells, sounds, memories, music, anything like that that kind of activates you to want to have an urge to engage in the addictive behavior. So again, right, in psychology, a trigger is a stimulus that brings about a painful memory and then can activate symptoms associated with it. So like a veteran who has post-traumatic stress disorder might have a really hard time on 4th of July because of fireworks kind of being a trigger. But the word triggered is entirely overused at this point, and so I'm really just teaching you like the right way to go about it, and not to say like any minor inconvenience is triggering to you, because it really is a huge disservice to people who struggle. Triggers are developed basically because our brains are doing a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to things. And so like the activating event happens and then it's stored in our memory, and sometimes it's really beyond our conscious control. But ultimately, triggers are your assignments. Knowing what makes you want to use substances or engage in addictive behaviors, knowing what scares you illogically. People avoid problematic people, places, and things are triggers, but like that's actually where you need to show up and do some healing. Conversely, I came across something on the internet called glimmers, and glimmers are basically like the opposite of that, but they're like happiness triggers. So it's just as important to know our happiness triggers as it is to know our anger triggers, our anxiety triggers, our substance use or addictive behavior triggers. For example, I have seen more rainbows in the sky in the past 2 weeks than I have, I think, in my entire life. I don't know what that is, but it makes me happy, right? So like little glimmers of hope, little glimmers of something can also kind of contribute to resiliency, where activating triggers kind of make us feel worse. And that's your little mini education, and that was a good talk.